What's up, guys? I'm Tara. I live in Johannesburg and I am 29 years old.
Hello, my name is Jaya. I am a musician, writer, and all-round multidisciplinary artist. Born in KZN in Bangeni, raised in Johannesburg, and I'm 25 years old.
My name is Rel Ahile Lerato Ndishane Makopa. A mouthful, I'm blessed. I'm 26 years old and I'm from Centurion, Gauteng.
She's gonna listen to this and be like, it's Taurai. Alright, bro. I'm born in Senegal. My parents are from Zimbabwe. I live in South Africa. That's three mixes in the pot where it's like, but then I speak like I'm American or I speak whatever the code. I don't know what people say, but
Do I think race is real?
I think
race is a real thing.
I would like to say no.
race does exist. We do see white, we do see black.
I see a black BMW and a green Toyota.
Race doesn't truly exist. It really is a construct, but we can't pretend that we live in a vacuum.
I still see color.
So whether it is that you identify as a black person or not, everything around you is going to tell you that that is what you are. This is what you can or can't do. And
For us, there is race, but that doesn't mean that any race is better than another. But there is race.
But the truth of the matter is that there really isn't a race. We're one human race. The world can exist without race. I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime, but
Is being black better?
Yeah.
Hectic, bro.
so I'm black, right?
I love being black, right? But I don't think it's better. I think it's different.
black is better. Yeah.
Every race or every color or every creed has its own qualities and its own attributes. Right? I think attributes is a better word. Own attributes to it, right? Whether one is better than the other, no, but they are very different from each other, and each attribute is special and unique to each person. So being black it's different. It's different. Like when you walk into a black home, it's different from how you walk into, I don't know, an Indian home or another. Like it's just different. There's different attributes, different ways that we talk, walk. This is different. But I'm not saying that it's better.
Black is better because black has been oppressed. It's the same reason why woman is better than man. It's untapped. You know, it's because it's untapped, it's better. Is it intrinsically better? I think when we're put into this earth, we're all equal. Of course, we're all equal. But if you don't use something, it's going to have better use because it has more potential.
Right.
So black is better, yes.
I am African and my experience in this body as a black woman has been that black people tend to be most welcoming. They are kind, they show an acceptance of people that I am yet to experience with a lot of other races, unfortunately. There's a lot of ignorance from other races when they think of black people like, oh, you guys, you speak so well. Like if you speak a certain way, you must be smart because you speak a certain way. I know, appearing as I am, as a fair-skinned person who is quite cute, there's certain privileges that comes with, and I won't have to experience certain things that my own sister, my own brother won't experience, will have to experience because they navigate the world in different bodies with different complexions. And because I have a closer complexion to what is deemed beautiful, like that's kind of yuck to me. But I mean, that's how things are. Yes. Black would have to be better in my experience.
I think I would identify as. Oh my god! The conundrum! Oh shit! I am an black African.
So for my sake, whether I identify as black or African, I don't see a difference between being black and African because I don't see how the one can exist without the other.
Black is number one.
So you say I'm a black heterosexual male. You don't start with male then black.
No, black first. I think black first.
They're interchangeable in a way, but not really because our continent has people of different races that aren't black.
I know that you don't get black Americans without Africa because of how that whole history went down. Well, I identify as African because I'm from here, but I don't see it as a thing that can be like separated or segmented from.
It doesn't. My black does not make me who I am as a man. Does not make any man who he is. His color does not make him any person that he's a man, any man because of his color. But I do identify myself as a black man. I do.
The whole idea of Africa, the name Africa is not even like any African dialect. It doesn't stem from African dialect. So in and of itself, it's this whole idea of these sovereign states that have been created by Western ideals. Africa's a bit of a construct. You know what I mean? Egyptians don't feel African. Let's be honest. Egyptians feel Middle Eastern. Because culturally they associate that way. I think I'll identify as Zulu actually, because my dialect. And that's easier, Africa is African. Someone feels they're African, but they're not African or whatever. You know what I mean? But you can't deny that I'm Zulu. I'm Zulu. I'm Zulu. That's what I am.
Yeah.
I just had to make it clear.
Let them know.
Yeah, I'm black before I am a female because say yes, race is not real. No, it's not, but you still live in a society that functions a certain way. So whether you say like I am a woman before I'm black or I'm black before I'm a woman, you're still both those things. To say I am more woman than I am black, I am those things.
I put whatever is most relevant in that time first in terms of my identity. When I was overseas, I felt the need to assert a bit of my Africanness. So, but particularly with my homosexuality, like what I think more often than not is what I need to assert, because that you can't necessarily see necessarily. I'm a human being who happens to live in Africa and is black in color, which is actually bronze, but hey.
I realized I was black and different when I went to, when I realized that? Grilled cheese.
When we moved from KZN to Johannesburg, that's when I first noticed that I'm not a stereotypical, or that is a question, right? Black boy.
My accent was strong, bruh. I was in grade 6, so obviously at the time, that's when I realized I'm a little different. Like even the way I speak, the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I vibe is very different from the regular person. So I think that's when I really first realized that.
For some reason, like everyone thinks black people are just this monolith, like we're all the same, or like white people can all dance, can't do any of those things.
I didn't speak the same like Tsotita or Zulu or just any street language. I didn't say fede, I said Sawon, Ujai, Nyapi. So when I got here and they were federing and Jovicho, I'm like, girl, are you sure you speak like that? It was only when I got to Joburg that I first started being labeled as gay. Because in KZN, there wasn't gay. They just saw this little boy who pounced around with a bit of a figure.
Oh yeah, I am a quiet person who can't dance, who doesn't necessarily enjoy like house.
Have you ever felt hated or uncomfortable for being different in a black space?
Yeah, hell yeah, a lot of times. A lot of times.
I don't think I felt uncomfortable because the people were black. I think it's because I am a person who gets anxious around like crowds in general. So
I have felt uncomfortable being black in a black space because there's like black people have like these levels of blackness, you know, and it's like, I mean, girl, who decided this level?
As when I was younger, I used to think like, oh shit, I want to fit in, I want to be cool. Why do I have these shoes now, bro? Let me wear the broken ones. Or why do I have this? Or why am I wearing? I gotta dumb myself down. Do you know what I mean? I've always been in a situation where when I get into a black space before, I'd always feel like I need to dumb myself down so that I can melt, you know, blend in with everyone else. But I've reached a point in my life where I want to be different.
of course it's a different type of discomfort when it's like all white people, because you have to like act a certain way, it feels.
There's a certain way that you speak. You go to KZN and they think I speak like a Joburg Zulu, and they're like, what kind of Zulu are you actually? I feel inclined to speak English because I live in Joburg, where we usually speak in English, you know?
I am a woman. I live in South Africa. Like, we have a bit of a GBV problem. So it is in my best interest to be like super aware of who is around me, what their intentions might be, if I need to, you know, if things go left, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of the situation? So
Classism is a huge thing in the black community. And of course, these are all trickle-down effects of apartheid, of colonialism.
Because you have this thing of your cheese boy, or this thing of, oh, you're woke, you know everything, because you went to fancy school, now you're cool, bro. Or, you know what I mean? So
I'm from, and most people in Joburg communicate in English or Zulu, most likely English, you know, and with the language comes the ideologies of Western culture. Back in KZN, no one really paid that much attention to my sexuality, even as a kid. There's a weird sense of acceptance of the fact that, like, I always make the example, for instance, may I detour?
Of course.
I always make the example, for instance, of like the word nkonkoni. So the word nkonkoni is the Zulu word to describe gay, or not describe, to call gay people. Now nkonkoni is, I think, a wildebeest, you know what I mean? And the whole idea, reason why the Zulu people call queer people nkonkoni is because wildebeests are known, one, to stay within their gender and even have sexual relations with one another. Hence why they call us nkonkoni. There's a name for it, you know? That because there's a name, it means that they understand our existence. And because that name is so rooted in such meaning, shows that there's been a great engagement with queerness in the black context. However, when you get to Joburg, it's Tabane, you know, or Stuzane. The fact that it exists in my language, I think, shows that I am legitimate. So it's the irony of globalization, funny enough, that it's a global world now that's trying to push for queer rights, but globalization is the reason why queerness in Africa is a problem.
there are different versions, and I don't like it sometimes. I'm like, how's it, guys? What's happening, boys? What's going on? Oh, I can walk. I can go to Soweto, and then now I'm done. And now I'm. Do you know what I mean? I hate it. Which one I like to. I want to bring up my every day. Every day I make a choice to just be who I am, bruh. And I want to keep it the same way, because I don't like that thing of chopping and changing. And because I'm in this black space, I have to act. Yeah, I'm fit. Then I'm in this black space, I have to act like I'm an Instagram king. And then, you know what I mean? Like it's I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it, to be honest with you. I want to just keep the same tea the whole way through. But I do change. It sucks.
Because I grew up in a lokshin, then the city, then the burbs, that like, although I can morph into different spaces, you know what I mean? Others can't, and I can see other people getting uncomfortable because, oh shit, I don't speak Tsotsitaal, I'm from the burbs. Oh shit, I'm not from the burbs, I'm from the north, honey. I found myself in different instances assimilating different characteristics of blackness depending on the spaces that I'm in. Particularly when I was younger, and I think when I was younger it was more contrived. It's not, because I should think I'm a fake person. How can I morph into this and that? Like, are you inconsistent? Now I know myself. Like, I'm very assured in myself. I just am gifted in the ability to connect with people in different ways, in different spaces, and I can be myself whilst I do that. I feel empowered whenever I can go into any different backspace and really be good and be fine, you know?
Black Lives Matter it does. Black Lives Matter, that statement for me, né? Black Lives Matter statement for me is it's a very important statement because it has a lot of messages in that statement, right? Black Lives Matter.
Oh, do I think Black Lives Matter applies to all black people? Yes. We are all experiencing similar things, you know, certain prejudices, certain disadvantages, or just really rank things that we experience because we look this way. And yes, it may be different because you live in America, it may be different because you live in the Congo, it may be different because you live in, you know, Namibia, wherever it is. And on top of that, like whatever other identities that you might have, you're queer, you're a woman, you're straight, you're whatever the thing is. But I definitely do think the fight is one that is fought by the black collective, regardless of where it is geographically you are.
So we relate. I think that's why it pulls a string in Africa, where it's like it pulls a string in your heart, where you're like, I can relate to it. Am I going through the exact same thing? No, because our cops here, for example, police shoot. We don't have that many. We do have police shootings, but our cops are Black Africans. So,
Yeah.
do Black Lives Matter in Africa? Yes, they do. In Africa, the context of Black Lives Matter, I think, should be economically. Do Black Lives Matter in a financial field? Because if every African in Africa or any African in the world mattered to all Africans in Africa, because within Africa we are also divided as Africans, which is so stupid, but we're also divided where there's things like tribalism, where, you know, there's, because you're Zulu, I can't date you, or because you're Xhosa or whatever, or even because you're from Uganda and I'm from Zambia, you know, or something like that. We're already divided in us. But now, first off, you gotta fight off that you're black, number one. Now you gotta fight that you're African, so you're a black African. That's 2 steps down, man. Do you know what I mean? And it's tough. Whereas we need to like hold out, we really need to forget us looking out there and trying to move over there and let's build we gotta hold ourselves down here, you know what I mean?
Black Lives Matter, in its essence, is relevant beyond any borders. You know, I think how it manifests in each space is different, and we need to understand that. You know what I mean? I think with regards to police, particularly police brutality, which is where it stemmed from in the States, that's relevant throughout the world, as we see now with NSARS. As we know in South Africa, Black Lives Matter as a movement internationally is relevant. As much as like GBV is also part of Black Lives Matter in terms of the intersectionality of all the struggles, but specifically the more pressing issue here is not necessarily police brutality or the general disregard for black lives, because that's true. It's the general disregard of feminine lives that's the issue in South Africa.
Ooh, you're asking me a pain Olympics question.
Yes, exactly.
Well, when we speak to intersectionality, because that's a thing, it's like how many demerits do you have as a person? Because there's one, like, I think it's a person who, if you're a trans person and you're black, there's a whole bunch that that in itself is a thing that puts your whole life in danger. Yeah, we all have things to unlearn. Like, no one's perfect. Like, we're all gonna get it wrong. And one of my favorite trans people is like Cat Black. And I remember, because I grew up in I was raised like Roman Catholic, so of course there's certain indoctrinations that you get there and taught, and there's certain things that I wasn't even aware I had internalized. The more, I don't know what to call them, like, how many things do you have? Like, I'm black, I'm gay, I'm trans, I'm this, I'm that, like, I'm dark skinned. Like, there's so many.
The community that has the hardest, I don't think it's a controversial thing, I think it's fact. I think it's the black, queer, differently able-bodied woman. That's the hardest. Because they are marginalized as fuck. You know what I mean? And when we liberate the black, queer, a differently bodied woman is the day we will know what dignity is. We learn as society to not to dignify them, because we don't need to. I hate this idea that someone needs to dignify you. They are dignified. Once we respect their dignity is when we will learn to love ourselves. Maybe that's when racism suddenly disappears.
The black woman, for me, is number one, bruh. First off, there's a lot of stuff that a woman goes through. There are a lot of things that a black woman goes through. And I'm not discrediting every other parts of the black society as well. There are also other struggles, but I think for me, the number one that comes to mind and that I do respect is the black woman, bruh.
Damn niggas. Black. When you're black and you're male and you're straight and you're able-bodied, dude, you just need to fight the white man, dude. Like, just go fight the white guys, dude. Just you stay there, stay away from us, cause your life is really. Let's not lie. Of course, jokes aside, we know that the historical oppression that black men have had to endure. We mustn't undermine that because they've since gone and screwed it up by being twats. Yes, trash. Oops. Yes, let's not. We can't take that. Black men suffered. Black men have been traumatized. They are a result of their trauma. We understand that. But just because you're in a traumatic space doesn't mean that you need to reflect that trauma. Or maybe doesn't mean that you didn't need to do the work to have a greater sense of maturity as to how to deal with that. I mean, I'm a black queer man and I can recognize the fact that I have privilege over a black queer woman. When I walk in town from Elof to Faraday Street, for the longest of time, I always thought I was being followed, right? Because I'd be walking and people would be walking faster, and I'd be like, what the fuck? The one day after I got my dreadlocks, I was walking, someone else walking as well, and we go, and as we get to the stop, they move away, and I'm like, what? And then the other one moves away. Then I noticed, oh shit, they're profiling me because I'm black, dark skinned, and got dreadlocks, and I'm walking because it's town, sweetie, you can't be swirling, so
sometimes it battles with you, bro, because sometimes even like my roommate, right? He's a Zulu guy, right? And he's Zulu to the death.
Well, seeing as Zulus are the white people of black people, it's gonna be very hard to go to Africa and tell people I'm Zulu. I must just speak to some white friends like, dude, how do you navigate it around the blacks? Yeah, because I need to go there, I need to learn, because I'm Zulu,